What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Playbook Sports Podcast. This is Nate coming back at you guys from the road, ready to talk about the Miami Dolphins game coming up against the Washington Commanders.
Before we get into today's video, guys, I just want to give a special shout out to today's sponsors, starting with Goldfine and Bowles, lawyers for the injured. Personal injury, workers' compensation, those are their two things, but any sort of legal advice, they're the people to call. Give them a phone call, 309-673-5144. Tell them we sent you, okay? And I'd also like to shout out SeatGeek for sponsoring today's video as well. Use promo code PlaybookSports on their website to get $20 off your first purchase of $30 or more. Let's get back to the video.
Miami Dolphins currently 8-3, right in the thick of the race for the 1 seed in the AFC, coming off of a 34-13 demolition of the New York Jets that just felt so good. Felt so good. Maybe the offense didn't play their best game, but damn, that defense was absolutely swarming. And if you're watching the Dolphins and you're trying to hate watch them, you're starting to get a little nervous because that defense is going to travel. That damn defense can travel, baby. They're looking good. Losing Jalen Phillips for the season is a tremendous blow to this defense. He is such a talented edge rusher, tied for the lead in sacks on the Dolphins defense. Tough blow. Hopefully he comes back ready to roll next season. Washington Commanders, 4-8. 3-game losing streak, not doing so hot, coming off of a Thanksgiving beatdown of their own that they received at the hands of the Dallas Cowboys, who are currently playing right now against Seattle. Go Dallas. Washington, just as earlier this week, fired defensive coordinator Jack Del Rio, so it looks like Riverboat Ron Rivera will be calling the defense going forward. So let's look at these injury reports, and you'll notice something with the picture I just posted. One of these teams has everybody listed, and the other one has 4 players listed. That's kind of annoying. The only ones I'm going to focus on here, because obviously I could talk about the Dolphins injury list all night long. I'm not going to do that. The ones I'm going to focus on are the ones who did not practice 2 days in a row. Dolphins have 2 of those. The Commanders have 2 of them as well. The Dolphins, first I want to talk about Kendall Lamb. That's a sneaky loss for us if he is unable to go. He has been awesome stepping in for Teron Armstead all season long. He's a great swing tackle. He's played fantastic on this offensive line. And Teron Armstead, man, guy's a super talented offensive lineman. But damn, he just cannot stay on the field for nothing. So if he can't go, that is a loss. But Javon Holland's playing like an all-pro right now. He is unquestionably the leader of this defense. Not having him on the field against a pass-happy team like the Washington Commanders is a recipe for a high-scoring affair, because he is that good. I mean, I'm not sure where this knee injury came from, considering it wasn't something that happened during the game. I don't know what's up with that. He seemed fine after the game. I'm really hoping he's good to go. Dolphins defense needs him, man. Not having him back there is a recipe for trouble. Washington's 2 that they have listed, again, super small list here, and I'm only going to talk about one. That's going to be first-round rookie corner Emmanuel Forbes. He's honestly been pretty bad, so it's not like it's a huge loss, and him playing as badly as he has played this season makes that draft pick look that much worse. I remember scratching my head at the time. Go back and watch our immediate first-round reactions. I did not like this pick. Not with Christian Gonzalez on the board. Not with Joey Porter Jr. on the board. Not with Deonte Banks on the board. He was the second corner off the board after Devin Witherspoon, and he was maybe, in my grading, in my cornerback gradings, I had Porter ahead of him, I had Gonzalez over him, and I also had Deonte Banks over him. He was my 5th rated corner, and he was the second one off the board. Terrible pick, and it looks even worse now going forward. Let's get into the X factors for this game on Sunday in Washington. Let's start on offense, and let's start for the Dolphins. And for the first time in a while, I'm going with quarterback Tua Tagovailoa. A couple of iffy games in a row now. People are, whatever, forget about him. It's the Tyreek Hill show anyways. Who cares about Tua? Tua turned the ball over. God, can't get enough of that. That's a lot of fun. Need him to ball. That's why he's the X factor. He needs to come out and ball in this game, because this is a team that has given up 350 points through 12 football games. Washington couldn't stop a cold. They couldn't stop a nosebleed. Couldn't catch a cold. Whatever. You know what I mean. Shut up. They're terrible defensively. And look at this. Last 3 quarterbacks the Commanders have faced in Geno Smith, Tommy DeVito, and Dak Prescott have combined for 946 passing yards and 9 passing touchdowns. That's averaging, on average, between the 3 of them, over 310 yards apiece. Over 315 yards apiece and 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. If there's ever a game for Tua not to throw a pick in, it's this one. And I will definitely get more into that later. But this is a defense to play a clean game against. if Tua plays a clean game, man, it will look out. Could get ugly. Washington, offensively, their X factor. I'm going with running back Brian Robinson. In 3 of their 4 wins, Robinson was a focal point. So, do with that what you will. Clearly, he is good as a running back. He's had several, 6 touchdowns on the season, 600 something yards. He's a solid running back. If they can get us to have to play up on him and then open up the passing game, that's why I consider him an X factor. If he's not on, if the running game isn't working and we can just drop back in coverage and send 4 after Howell, long day for the Commanders. Let's talk defensive X factors here. For Miami, the guy who's going to step up for Jalen Phillips, I hope. I'm going with Andrew Van Ginkel. Thor Van Ginkel needs to show up on Sunday against Washington Commanders and take full advantage of an absolutely porous offensive line. He's got to get back there. He's got to get in Sam Howell's head. He's the most sacked quarterback in the NFL. Again, it's kind of a spoiler. We'll get into that one a little bit later. He gets sacked, man. We need to get him. Van Ginkel, we need you to ball. They're going to force coverage onto Bradley Chubb to try and slow him down, and they're maybe not going to give you much more. You're going to get a ton of one-on-one opportunities, man. You've got a ball. The team needs you. And defensively for Washington, they traded away Chase Young. They traded away Montez Sweat. They don't have any great... they have... Jonathan Allen is my defensive X factor for the Washington Commanders. Stud defensive tackle. He's another game-wrecking type, much like Quinnen Williams, Dexter Lawrence, guys we've played this season, who I was like, man, they could really turn a game on its head if they aren't checked. If Connor Williams doesn't show up against Jonathan Allen, if the guards don't show up against Jonathan Allen, our run game is screwed. They've got to slow him down. He's a serious, serious problem. 5.5 sacks and 9 TFLs from the defensive tackle position. Very impressive. Let's get into the 5 keys for a Miami Dolphins victory, starting with number 1. I'm sick of asking for this and not getting it. No turnovers. Please. Please, please no turnovers. Not against this team. They do not need any extra opportunities on offense. They haven't forced an interception in 3 straight games. They've given up a shit ton of yards, 9 passing touchdowns in the last 3 games. They can't stop anybody. But don't give them something, Tua. Don't throw the ball to the DB, please. If it's not there, throw it away or just take the sack. Just go down. It's okay for plays to not work. All right? Now, I don't think you're going to have a lot of trouble against this Washington defense, truthfully. You're going to have Tyreek open. You're going to have Waddle open. You're going to have guys open. Just hit the throws. Hit the throws and move on. Let's keep the ball in our arms. Let's not fumble. Clean game. No turnovers, please and thank you. Number 2, stop the run. I talked about their X factors, Brian Robinson. If Miami can slow down Brian Robinson and force Sam Howell to just drop back, and we can pin our ears and go get him, that's how you win this game. Dolphins did that against the Jets. I said you got to stop Breece Hall or else we're in trouble. Held him to like 25 yards on 7 carries. Did nothing on the ground. It was a huge piece to the victory. Number 3, on that note of stopping the run, defense, carry the hell on. Absolutely balling. This defense is playing like a top 5 unit in the NFL right now. In the last 7 games, we've only played 11. So the last 7 games, the defense has allowed more than 20 points one time. That was to the defending Super Bowl runner-ups, the Eagles in Philadelphia when they were able to put up 31 in a weird game where it was tied at 17. So they're the only team to score more than 20 points against us in the last 7 games. This defense is flying around. Jalen Ramsey being out there makes a world of difference. Again, I know the loss of Jalen Phillips hurts, but I truly think that defensive end is a position where we've got depth and we can overcome that. Not to say that Jalen Phillips isn't a true stud. He is, but I think we have Emmanuel Ogbah, Van Ginkel. We just signed Jason Pierre-Paul. We've got pieces to fill in and pick up some of the slack there. So defense, keep doing your damn thing. They're all bought in on the Fangio scheme, and it is working. Number 4, sack Sam Howell. Sacked 55 times through 12 games, you guys. That is an unbelievable amount of sacks. That poor kid is just taking shots. He is getting beat up. Offensive line can't block. Sam Howell holds the ball a little bit too long. His receivers don't separate well. Go get him. Make him pay. Put him in the dirt. Go get him. And number 5, as it is all the time, and I'm going to refrain from yelling it because I'm in a public kind of area at a hotel, it's run the damn ball again. Just run it. We're averaging 145 yards on the ground. Washington gives it up on defense. Run the ball down their freaking throats. Set up the play-action pass. Have them earn that single high safety, and the whole offense rolls. When we are playing balance like we did against the Jets, like we've done in some of these games, when we're a balanced team who runs the ball and throws the ball off of play action, we're unstoppable offensively. Absolutely unstoppable. If they have to drop a safety into the box to try and stop our running game, we're going to hang 35, 40 points on you. That's what's going to happen. So you've got to run the ball, Mike McDaniel. On 3rd and 1, can we run the ball, please? I'm sick of the short down mistakes that's going on. We're terrible at converting short 3rd and 4th downs. We got to fix that. Run the damn ball. Thank you. All right. Final verdict on this game brought to you by the law offices at Goldfine and Bowles. Any sort of legal questions, workers' compensation, personal injury, these are the guys to call. 309-673-5144. Tell them you're coming because the playbook sent you, okay? It's a win-win. We don't get anything out of it. It's just we're trying to send you to good attorneys. These guys know what they're doing. They're the best in the area. Call them. Dolphins consistently crush bad teams, right? What are these Washington Commanders? Bingo. They're a bad football team. This is a get-right game for this Miami offense. The defense is already balling. Sam Howell, yes, he's leading the NFL in passing yards. Very impressive. He is playing so much better than I ever would have thought he would, but it's not translating to points. It's not translating to wins. Dolphins defense is playing championship caliber football, and if there's ever a game for the offense to be like, there it is, we got it, things click again, it's this one right here. And that's why I'm going with Miami to win and Miami to cover. I'm going Miami Dolphins 38, Washington Commanders 13 in a rout. An absolute rout. Defense comes to play. Offense comes to play. We play complementary football. We're hitting field goals from far. Complementary football across the board. Win in all 3 phases at Washington. Move to 9-3. Cement yourself as the first place in the AFC East and keep working towards that number 1 seed. That's going to be so important come playoff time. And that's all I got for you guys on this one. I'll see you guys in the recap video. That will be out shortly after a hopeful Dolphins victory. Fins up, baby.